Hi guys, and welcome back from Carly, head forage monkey at the Herbothecary. Today is December 2020 and we have another lockdown edition. We found lots of things to keep us busy during this crazy time. However, today we are out seeing what is still growing in winter in the UK. We live just in between Chester and Liverpool, and we are blessed with an abundance of wild edibles and medicinals. So the disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an ethnobotanist. Please always do your own thorough research on anything you see, and don't ever eat or use anything unless you're 100% sure. Grab yourself a good guidebook. There are great ones on identifications and how to use them. So I've grabbed my two little forage monkeys and we are off to see what we can find, starting right outside our door. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know, number one, the Dandelion, taraxacum officinale, or Dandelion, for the lion's teeth that the leaves have, is one of my all-time favorites. Not only is it available all year round in one form or another, it is a powerhouse of goodies. It is antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antimicrobial, can help boost the immune system. It's also a diuretic, which helps flush your kidneys and flush free radicals from your system. It can help regulate your blood sugar, and it is high in vitamin C, A, K, and E, folate, iron, and magnesium. In spring and summer, I would harvest the flowers and the shoots of the flower or the stems of the flower to use as a spaghetti substitute. The flowers are great in tea, even battered and fried. So today we carefully dug around those roots and brought them in, and we also harvested some nice fresh leaves. As these ones are bigger and slightly more bitter than the little ones, we will be adding them in a soup with some nettle tips. There are fresh ones that aren't seeding that have just come up now, and I shall dry out this root, pop it into a jar, and we'll either use that roasted as a coffee alternative, caffeine-free coffee alternative, or just take them as little nibbles. As I said, they are high in lots and lots of goodies. So once the roots are nice and clean, I'm going to chop them finely. Half of these will just be popped in on a low heat to dehydrate, and the other half will be roasted for a coffee substitute. Number 2 on my list is normally easily identified during spring and summer by its long lance-like leaves that shoot out of the ground and one single flower on a long stem. However, this time of year they can be found close to the ground with small leaves hiding amongst the grass and leaves. Narrow leaf plantain, or plantago lanceolata, has long string-like veins that run from the bottom of the leaf all the way up to the top. The young leaves can be eaten as well, like the young leaves of the dandelion. I chop mine up and add it to a vegan-like pesto. The leaves can be dried for tea, make a great cough remedy, and help clear congestion. It's high in iron, vitamin B, A, and C. It has proteins and other trace minerals, but it can also be used as a poultice for cuts, swellings, and stings, much like dock leaf. The seeds of the flowers can also be used for a flower substitute. However, you would need buckets full in order to do so. Now, I don't normally find number 3 this time of year, as once it's gone to seed, it does die back. However, garlic mustard, otherwise known as Jack by the Hedge, or the alliaria petiolata, is a great find. It has a very garlicky smell, or garlic mustardy smell to it. It is so high in vitamin C, A, and B bits, iron, manganese, and copper, and is a great source of omega-3 fatty acids. The leaves have a very distinctive heart-like shape. However, the ends are quite rounded when they're younger, pointier as they get larger. The seeds can also be harvested and used in a whole grain mustard. And popping up just around these are fresh cleaver shoots. The galium aparine might be considered an edible, however, it does have small hairs that can cause esophageal discomfort, and the juice can cause contact dermatitis. It is a diuretic, however, I prefer to use it topically. An infusion can be used for skin toning or to promote hair growth. The young shoots can be boiled and cooled and added to salads or cooked in a soup, the fruit of which can also be dried and used again as a coffee substitute. Number 5 is one of my favorite additions to salad. I'm not a big fan of pepper, but I do like the peppery flavor of the hairy bittercress, the Cardamine hirsuta. All of the above ground parts can be eaten. It's also known as peppery cress. It is known to or believed to remove carcinogens from the body. It's high in vitamin C and beta carotene, and apparently might contain lutein, which helps with eye health and reducing cataracts. Find number 6 is the wood sorrel or oxalis, often confused with the clover as it has 3 leaflets. However, these are heart-shaped rather than round or oval like the clover. It is high in oxalic acid, which is believed to inhibit the body's ability to absorb calcium. I suffer from this issue anyway, especially during pregnancy. I've had workups before and after consuming small amounts and haven't found that it's worsened the issue. It is high in vitamin C, and that beautiful citrusy taste makes it great in salads, syrups, and teas. And historical records show that it was believed to relieve symptoms of cramps and nausea, so approach with caution. And still taking over my garden at this time of year, I found number 7, which is chickweed with its celery-like flavour, Stellaria media. Now make sure that you've got the one with the white flower. There are ones with a pinky purpley flower, but they're known as scarlet pimpernel and we avoid them. These are high in vitamin A, C, beta carotene, B complex, and trace minerals. They can be eaten or they can be used as a poultice for burns, rashes, and bites. Took a little break from my garden at this point and ran just round the corner to the park to find some rosehips from the dog rose or wild rose, and I needed my little forage monkeys to help me with this one. 40 times higher in vitamin C than oranges. These are great immune boosting for this time of year. So we're going to bring them home and turn them into a syrup with some elderberries and also make some rose oil, as it is anti-aging and highly moisturizing. I do pop mine in the freezer. It makes them easier to process and also boosts the vitamin C as it tricks them into thinking they've seen the first frost. Now the seeds inside the hips do have little hairs on them. I believe they have their own nutritional value, however not so friendly when consumed as they can cause esophageal discomfort. So once frozen, I cut them in half, pop out all those seeds, and then we're going to pop them in a pan with a small bit of water and some lemon juice, cook them down, add some honey and turn them into an immune boosting syrup to get us through the winter and the snivels and colds. I included the last of my frozen elderberries to the mix, but do not heat too high as it can destroy the active properties. Now number 9 is the Yarrow or the Achillea millefolium. Now this one is a great styptic used internally or externally to stop bleeding. It is high in vitamins A, C, potassium, magnesium, zinc, phosphorus, calcium, and niacin. It can be used as a tea or a poultice and will help internally with infections and colds. Great externally for scrapes, burns, and even sprains. And the flowers can be put next to your campsite to be an effective mosquito repellent. I advise you take special interest in the wispy, feathery-like leaves, which I dry and pop in a jar so that I can add aloe vera gel to them later and use them on wounds. Number 10 is the wild carrot, another umbellifer, also the Daucus carota. It is believed to help flush kidneys and help remove kidney stones. However, the roots are eaten like a carrot, and the seeds have been used as a natural birth control. However, they are believed to make the uterus uninhabitable to hold a baby. So, as there hasn't been much research on this, I would approach this one with caution. Although I have found historical writings saying that the roots have been used to help with jaundice and to remove threadworms from the body, like the yarrow, I would get to know the carrot-like leaves and the flowers of this one very well so that you can start to learn to tell the umbellifers apart. Although a good indicator is that the leaves do very closely look like the normal carrots that you get, or the orange carrots rather, that you can buy in the store. And the head, once they're dry, has a bird's nest shape to it with these little seeds inside, which will then go brown and drop. Now, number 11, the bull thistle, is an important one to know, the Circeum vulgar. However, if you can get hold of its cousins, the creeping or the sow thistle, they are much more friendly. Not only is it extremely high in fiber, protein, phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, copper, zinc, and other minerals, this one has been known to help flush the body and help detox if you've had toxic mushrooms or been in contact with other toxic chemicals. Now, during the spring and summer, it will have a long stalk that pops up, which is a lot easier to process. However, this time of year and in the younger plants, it is putting all of its energy into the roots. So I am going to very carefully and with very thick gloves cut back the top and harvest the leaf. And then I use pincers in order to cut off all those spiny bits. Can use those stems once you've removed all the thistles. However, as I said today, I will just be cooking that root up and using it in a soup. Number 12 is well known. The stinging nettle, or Urtica dioica, should be approached with caution and very thick gloves, as it has little needle-like hairs that will cause a sting. High in vitamin A, C, K, several of the B vitamins, calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, and sodium, and some healthy fats, is a great one to have. I use the tiny tips as a tea. It works as an anti-inflammatory. It's immune boosting and energy boosting, and helps curb allergic reactions during the season. The seeds can also be eaten. However, when it is seeding, I do advise avoiding the leaves as they have a compound in them that can cause kidney stones. Although, if you are unfortunate enough to get stung by the nettle, number 13, the duck leaf, or the Rubex obtusifolius, is a great one to know. Not only will the juice of these leaves help calm the sting of the stinging nettles, they also have more vitamin C than oranges, more vitamin A than carrots, B1, B2, and some iron. Number 14 is a must in my medicinal cabinet. I do grow it at home. The Feverfew, or Tenassetum parthenium, is great for helping to bring down fevers, as its name Feverfew, but if taken in teas over a long period, can help avoid headaches full stop, and as I am a migraine sufferer, I definitely keep this one close to hand. And last but definitely not least is number 15, Self-Heal or Heal-All, the Prunella vulgaris. Now, this one is absolutely lovely in salads. It has vitamins A, B, C, and K, but it's also high in flavonoids and antioxidants. It's anti-inflammatory and helps with inflammation of the bowel, stomach disease, any stomach upset. It's even believed to help with stomach ulcers. So this one, if you can find it this time of year, as you see, I've still got a healthy little batch growing in my back garden. I would definitely not forget this one in your list of must-haves. Hope you guys found a few bits interesting in this video. I'm off to add these leaves to a vegan pesto, a smoothie, and a nice rosehip and elderberry syrup. Good luck in your research. Remember to always check thrice, check with a book, check with the internet, check with someone else who might know better. Avoid areas where pesticides are used, animals are frequently walked or might spoil, and make sure you always have permission. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit thumbs up, subscribe, and come back for new videos. Thank you guys for coming back to the Herbothecary.